want to thank Wilson Services, Wilson, Ben, Noah, you guys there, for these plants. Made me look good. Hard to do. So, no poison ivy though, right? We're out? Okay. And I got to mention that Noah and his wife just had a baby, 2 weeks old. Now you talk about, we won't stop for anything recruiting new members and new ambassadors. So there we go, 2 week old. So congratulations. So with that, our guest MC, who's done this for many years now, and we can't thank him enough. And as far as the Festival of Lights, the festival wouldn't be what it is without him. So without further ado, Tim Cundiff, Felipe.
Thank you so much. Always. How's everyone doing tonight? Hey, I couldn't hear you there. Come on now. How's everyone doing tonight? Let's go. Welcome to the 46th annual dinner of the East Peoria Chamber of Commerce. Let's hear it for you. Come on. Happy America's 250th birthday. Let's hear it for the US of A, the red, white, and blue. And last but not least, how about those Hoosiers? How about those Indiana Hoosiers? That's right. Rick told me, I said, Rick, is there a dress code tonight? And he says, well, you know, we've got a representative from Bradley University. Maybe wear something that's red and white. I said, I got just the thing. I got something that's red and white, you know. And, you know, I mean, yes, folks, I am an alum of Indiana University. Just got back from Miami, one of the greatest days of my life, the national championship game, an incredible day. I mean, this is history. We're talking history. And no, I'm not just one of those fair weather fans that have just been a fan for the last 2 years since Coach Signetti came to town. No, I'm an alum. I got my degree. I'm an optometrist, and I went to optometry school at Indiana University. And I've been a fan since before it was cool to be a fan of Indiana. I will say this, Mr. Mayor's here in the center of the room. I kick-started my 2026 for the first time in my life in Pasadena, California at the Rose Bowl. That's how I started my 2026. I'm sorry about the Alabama Crimson Tide, but the Tide was rolled by the Indiana. Did anybody watch that game? 38-3. How about the Hoosiers? 38-3. I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor. I'm sorry, but there was two special things that came from that game, and I want to start my remarks with this. Number one, first and foremost, as I said, I'm not a fair weather fan. We've been going to games since we were in school. I was with my buddies Dan and Joe, my roommates from optometry school, at that game in Pasadena. And it was surreal. I mean, we're in the Rose Bowl. Indiana's in the Rose Bowl. Just saying those words was wild, let alone national championships, but just going at the Rose Bowl. And beating Alabama, that was surreal. 93,000 fans packed in the stadium. Almost 80,000 of them were Indiana fans. On our flight back home to the Midwest, my buddy Dan's reading an article. And in that article, the article was saying this is special, what a great experience for the Hoosiers, for all of Hoosier Nation, but especially to those fans who've been fans even in those dark days when people were not filling Rose Bowl stadiums, when they could barely fit their own stadium. And the picture that was in this article, to illustrate the fact that Indiana used to not have very many fans at games, this picture was taken at Memorial Stadium in Bloomington, Indiana. In a monsoon downpour, Indiana played Virginia. And who is featured in that photograph but me and Dan and Joe, the three guys who were at the Pasadena Rose Bowl? We were featured in our ponchos, head to toe soaked. The stadium was almost empty. But basically the article said, it's for these loyal fans, the faithful fans. This is what this is all special for. So thanks for giving me 2 minutes to be proud of my Hoosiers. This is the first time I've had a microphone since we've been national champs. So thank you for getting me a minute to say that. But my second reason for telling that story is this, and this is quite wild, and I'm telling you, you can't script this kind of stuff. 93,000 fans were in that stadium. We get to our seats. It's me and Dan and Joe. We sit down. We're here. We're at the Rose Bowl. Are you kidding me? It ain't even kicked off yet. We were just in awe. Pinch us. It was incredible. We no more than sit down in our seats And row right behind us, directly behind, 93,000 fans, the row directly behind us, I hear a voice, and the voice says, "Dr. Cundiff, is that you?" I turn around. One of my patients from right here in Central Illinois, my patient, this gentleman and his wife, and their 2 boys are all there. Are you kidding me? You're all the way here in Pasadena. 93,000 fans, they're right behind me. And then they said, we brought the whole crew. We brought such and such. There's Johnny and there's Billy, and then there's my cousin over here, and there's another group of this extended family. And this one girl in the extended family, she goes, "Are you from Central Illinois? Are you? You look very familiar. How do I know you?" And I said, "Oh, maybe I'm your eye doctor. I'm your cousin's eye doctor. Maybe that's how you know me." She says, "No, I've seen you on TV. Are you in commercials? Are you in anything else?" I said, "Well, actually, I'm Felipe." She said, "That's right. I know you. I recognize you." So unbelievable. The Festival of Lights is in Pasadena. It's across the country, across the world. I'm honored to portray Felipe, and I'm honored to be here tonight to celebrate with you all. One more hand time. Put your hands together for our 46th annual dinner for the East Peoria Chamber. And then, to be fair, Rick did say wear red and white, because tonight we do have a special distinguished guest here tonight. We have the president of Bradley University, our hometown university. He's here tonight. You're going to hear some wonderful remarks from him. And I mean, the colors still work. Red and white still works, And it's really not a conflict of interest, because I'm supporting Indiana football. And Bradley hasn't had a football team in a little while, unless they decide to bring it back, which, I'm not trying to twist any arms here, but I'm just saying, it's not technically a conflict of interest to wear red and white celebrating these guys. Is the jacket too much? I'll take the jacket. If it's too much, I'll take the jacket. I don't want to. I mean, it's getting warm up here. It's cold outside. Is the jacket too much? Was that all right? Okay, I just want to make sure. Can you see? All right, folks, let's begin. I'd like to thank our sponsors for being here and for making tonight possible. So I'm going to rattle off a few names here. Please thank these wonderful local businesses for helping make tonight's event possible. That includes Busey Bank, Caterpillar Visitor Center, the Excellent Cafe, Fair Graham, Fond du Lac Bank, Hart Technology, Illinois Central College, Mike Rundle Creative Content, Miller Hall and Triggs, Peoria Area World Affairs Council, River City Construction, Serve Pro, Unland Insurance. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Support those local businesses, because that's what we're here for. This is the Chamber of Commerce, supporting these local businesses, keeping this chamber thriving, and we're thrilled to celebrate our 46th annual dinner. In addition to Felipe being in the house, there's also some royalty in the room. I see a shiny tiara. Anybody see a shiny? Stand up and raise your hand. We have our festival queen, Amira Dvorak, is in the house tonight. So thanks to you all for being here, and thank you to Rick Swan. What a phenomenal job that Rick does here with the Chamber and his staff and his team. Let's hear it to Rick and the whole crew at the East Peoria Chamber. While we're in the spirit of clapping, I would also like to recognize all of the East Peoria Chamber ambassadors. If you're an East Peoria Chamber ambassador, please stand up. Please stand up. Let's hear it for these wonderful individuals who go above and beyond for your community. Rick said, be sure you recognize the ambassadors. I said, I recognize most of them. One of them got a haircut, but I recognize most of them. I recognize them that's a bad joke. Okay, so you all seen all the ambassadors, but how about the previous ambassadors of the year? If we have anyone who's been an ambassador of the year, would you please stand up and be recognized? Let's hear it for these folks who've truly gone above and beyond. Their names are over here on the Jumbotron. You can see them right over there. And on that note, it is time to present our award. Our first award of the evening will be going to our Ambassador of the Year for this year. This year's Ambassador of the Year is a great family person, a lifetime area resident. This person works for a large area employer, always willing to help out at the chamber events with a very friendly, positive attitude. And this person loves to speak to a large group, which is very fitting because you're going to come up here and take the microphone and say a few words. Just kidding, they're a little bit shy. They like to work behind the scenes, but this person deserves their due, so please put your hands together. I need to have an envelope, please, from Rick. We're going to determine who is this year's Ambassador of the Year. Drum roll. Kelsey Horst from OSF. Where's Kelsey? Come on down. Let's hear it. It's in the script. You got to speak. I'm sorry. Congratulations. Well done. Tremendous.
I feel like sister up here because I'm so short.
Like that.
No, I'm good. Thank you to Rick and to Cassie and to all the ambassadors. I'm not a lifelong resident. I've only been here 12 years, so I'm a transplant, but I love the greater Peoria area. I love the East Peoria area. So thank you for this.
Let's hear for Kelsey. Well done. And to all of our ambassadors, the heartbeat of the Chamber of Commerce. Speaking of the Chamber of Commerce, there's a fine, hardworking board of directors that's behind the scenes all the time for you folks. And we are now going to bring to the podium our board president, your 2025 board president. Let's hear it for Dennis Triggs.
Okay, Swan, the first thing you did when I missed a meeting, you made me president. True story.
And it was unanimous.
Yeah. And the second thing you did was have me follow Tim Cundiff. I mean, can you imagine? Holy cow. So you all get ready to snooze because I can't do what he does. However, and then the other thing, Rick told me, be sure and recognize the ambassadors. Can you believe that? That's what he told me. All right, you don't have to stand again. So what I will do, though, is recognize board members. So anybody who was a board member of the chamber, who currently is a board member, don't be shy. Please stand. Let's see it. And that includes you too, Mayor. Thank you all. Thank you very much. And some board members do special things, and I have in my head 2 or 3 people who've given a lot of time and a lot of counsel for a lot of years, but I'm afraid you know how that goes. You name, you don't know where to stop, so we won't go to, you know who you are. Thank you, and we appreciate you. Now, what I'm supposed to do, I think, is to just kind of tell you where we are. This is sort of a State of the Union message, if you will. And I'll be very short because I'm not nearly as exciting. I know that. Your Chamber of Commerce has about 400 members. That's pretty good for a community this size, and that's about what it was pre-COVID. Your Chamber of Commerce is financially sound. We don't accumulate money, but we have enough money for hard times, and that's partly because the Chamber is very efficient. There are 2 people. Where's Cassie? Oh, there's one, Cassie. So Cassie Shooter is and Rick. That's it. That's how we operate, and that's a pretty efficient operation considering all the things we have going on. And to give you, I'll leave things out, I'm sure, but I just want to give you a sample of that. This chamber gets involved with the city, with the Festival Lights, with Winter Wonderland. It has Oktoberfest Expo, where businesses come in and show their wares. We have Eggs and Issues. A lot of people here attend those events where we have really interesting and important speakers come and update people on what's going on. Our ambassadors do ribbon cuttings every time there's a new business. We have a leadership school, which is well attended, and from every report, people appreciate that. And so on and on it goes. It's a busy operation, not to mention this dinner. And one comment I do want to share, in these partisan, difficult times, what the chamber does, it has socialization. We bring people together. And I've abandoned my notes here, so I will be quick. I want to point something out, though, that besides Ms. Shooter, what we have is Rick Swan, and he has no idea I'm going to say this, but and I have to qualify. I can't change the fact that we are friends, so maybe I'm a little biased, but people out there know that this guy is amazing, and he's the reason for the success of the East Peoria Chamber of Commerce because he knows everybody. And I'm telling you, once a month, I want to talk to somebody, and I can't, they don't pop up on my computer right away. I don't know how to contact them. I call him, he's a walking Rolodex. And 30 seconds later, I got the email and I got the phone number, and that is the absolute truth. And there's a second part. You cannot do that job and be shy. You can't do that job if you can't carry a conversation. Not a problem for Rick. So some of you notice that? Yeah. I mean, I get these. We're sort of every other day talking, and so I get this phone call. Dennis, you got a minute? I look. Well, yeah, I got about a half hour because that's what it's going to take, you know. But I love it, Rick. I mean, don't stop calling. But I mean, don't get me. And that was today. I mean, we're not talking about once a month, folks. So you have to be gregarious, and you have to know people. But here's the real key. This is to a large extent while this Chamber of Commerce is successful, and there's a lot of people that know it. He knows these people, and then he puts them together. I'm not going to mention names. I'm thinking about a leader in our community right now, and I was with him at a meeting here maybe 2 weeks ago, and we're having a conversation, and there was an interest actually in maybe making contact with a political figure, one of our local political figures. And Rick says, well, let me call. You know, I mean, it's done like right now. Some of us, you go away and procrastinate. At least, I got to sleep on that. I'm not sure. No. He takes the phone, he calls, and he puts people together. So whatever formal comments I had, we're going to skip. I just want to leave it at that. That the man is amazing for connecting people and connecting the right people at the right time and the right circumstance makes the world go around. I do, though, want to mention part of that connection deals with partnerships, and we partnership with a lot of people. We're proud that we work with the amazing Riverfront Museum, with Caterpillar Visitors Center, and I'm looking over here with the Peoria Area World Affairs Council. Do you realize that because of that partnership, we have these meetings? Don't invite the whole world, to be frank about it. We can't. But local business leaders then get to interact with ambassadors and consul generals and business leaders from around the world. Why does that happen? Because of a partnership between the Peoria Area World Affairs Council and the East Peoria Chamber of Commerce. These things go on all the time. So it's amazing skill he has. And he didn't know I was going to say that. I suppose I better leave it at that. So I joke about being having served as president of the East Peoria Chamber. I'm far too old to do that. I'm retired. I don't know how in the hell that happened, but it did. And so I joke about it, but it's an honor because I think it's the best Chamber of Commerce in the state of Illinois, and I think it is because it has the best executive director in the state of Illinois. And there's a whole lot of people out there that know that's the truth. So my only other comment is that I'm pleased to leave the reins as this mighty role that we have as president of the chamber, turn it over to Perry Johnson, who will do an outstanding job over the course of 2026. So thanks to all of your members. Thank you for the honor of serving as president of the chamber. And Tim, thank you If I could just get half of your enthusiasm, they wouldn't be falling asleep.
Hold on.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your comments. Appreciate it so much. Thank you, Dennis. Wonderful words of wisdom and words of advice, and wonderful words of congratulations for our team right here at the East Peoria Chamber. Let's hear one more time for the East Peoria Chamber, for our board, past and current. It's the time in our evening for our keynote address. It's our keynote distinguished presentation that you all have been anxious to learn about. Tonight, we're proud to welcome James E. Shadid to the room. He became Bradley University's 13th president on April 1st, 2025. Shadid is a 1979 Bradley graduate, served as a United States District Judge for the Central District of Illinois, appointed to that position by U.S. President Barack Obama, and unanimously confirmed by the U.S. Senate on March 7th, 2011. Along the way, he ascended to chief judge during his federal stint on the bench. Prior to that, he was a state judge for 10 years, serving in the 5-county 10th Judicial Circuit. After graduating from John Marshall Law School, now U of I Chicago School of Law, in 1983, he became an attorney in private practice in the Peoria area. Shadid has long given back to his alma mater, both as an adjunct professor and as a former university trustee. His roots at Bradley run deep, from his own experience as a student and baseball player on the Hilltop, go Braves, to other family members who also became Braves, including his late brother George, his son Jim, niece Lauren, and more than a dozen other cousins and their children. Shadid and his wife Jane are the proud parents of 3 adult children, Jim, Joe, and Maggie. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable President Jim Shadid.
Thank you, everybody. And wow, I thought it was just going to be difficult following Sister Judith Ann. I had no idea about Tim Cundiff. As is her masterful style, the invocation from Sister Judith Ann reminded us why we are here. It seems to me that we should consider simply asking Sister to do the whole program. With that in mind, though, I think we would all agree that Sister, well, let me just say this first. Sister, thank you for your leadership in this community and your service and dedication to this community. You lead by example. It is an honor to walk with you, to stand with you, and to share all of this goodwill in this community with you. I think, and I'm happy just to make the whole night about Sister Judith Ann, I think it goes without saying that we would all agree that Sister is likely better connected than the rest of us. But what you may not know is that Sister was a graduate at Bradley University of Business and Administration. So I would hope that some of this leadership skill set comes from Bradley University as well. Thank you. I want to introduce 2 members of our Board of Trustees who are present tonight, Henry Vickery and Will Williams. Thank you for your service to the university. Garrett Williams accompanied me tonight. He is the Chief Operating Officer at the university. And now, good evening, everybody, and thank you for the invitation, the warm welcome, the opportunity to share this evening with you, an evening that reflects the strength, the pride, and forward momentum of this business community. I want to begin by recognizing Rick Swan and the entire Chamber team. Rick, your leadership and steady commitment to East Peoria truly matters. The Chamber is often the connective tissue of any community, and under your direction, this Chamber does that work exceptionally well. Thank you, Rick. I think what makes the East Peoria Chamber so effective is that it understands a very simple truth. Strong communities are built on strong relationships between businesses, between employers and educators, between industry and healthcare, and between today's leaders and tomorrow's workforce. This is a community that knows how to grow with purpose. It balances economic development with quality of life, innovation with stability, and ambition with accountability. The result is not just a stronger local economy, but a business culture defined by resilience, practicality, and long-term thinking, qualities where companies invest, families settle, and young people can see a future. Bradley University is proud to be part of this ecosystem. As a regional university, our success is inseparable from the success of communities like East Peoria. We exist not simply to grant degrees, but to develop people who will contribute to businesses, to healthcare systems, to schools, nonprofits, and communities across this region. I was asked recently what I like best about being president of Bradley University. The answer was simple. For many years as a judge, I saw too often, far too often, young people making poor choices for themselves. It is rewarding and impactful for me and for all of us to walk that campus at Bradley and see young people trying to make good choices for themselves. Bradley is a place where students are known, where faculty care deeply about teaching and mentoring, where students don't just study theory, but apply what they learn in real-world settings, often beginning in their first year. Our students graduate prepared, not just with knowledge, but with confidence, experience, and a clear sense of purpose. Along the way, our faculty members, like Angela, mentor and challenge them, connect them to opportunities, and help them see their potential more clearly. These students graduate on time and often build careers right here in our community, buying a home, contributing to this community, and mentoring the next generation of students. These stories are not exceptions at Bradley University. We are personally invested in the success of each and every student that we serve. And I know there are maybe a handful of students here tonight. And to the teachers and counselors and principals who walk alongside of them, let me say to you, if you're thinking about what comes next, please take a serious look at Bradley University. Visit our campus, sit in a classroom, talk with our students and faculty, and see for yourself whether this is a place where you would be challenged, supported, and prepared for what lies ahead. And educators in the room, we want to be your partner. Invite us to your schools. Help us understand your students and their aspirations, but hold us accountable for serving them well, because focusing on our students is our number one priority. You will find that Bradley University does not have to take a back seat to anyone. In addition to our nationally respected programs in engineering, in health sciences, in business education, communication, and the arts, you will see initiatives underway in the next few weeks in terms of renovation of dorms, enhanced dining options, new pickleball courts and a band shell on our quad, and a new entry that will open up a gateway to the beginning of what I believe will become a Main Street corridor off our campus, a vibrant urban corridor from the corner of Bradley University down past the hospitals and to the Riverfront Museum. And as exciting as that is to me, and I believe it will be very exciting to all of you as you watch this unfold, these initiatives are starting in the next few weeks, will be done by the time students arrive in the fall. These will be economic development initiatives as we go forward. But as exciting as that is, what truly distinguishes Bradley University is how we intentionally connect learning and the student experience to life and education to opportunity. Those connections are strengthened through partnerships. We have many partnerships, but I would like to name a few. One of our most impactful partnerships is with OSF Healthcare. Together, we are preparing the next generation of healthcare professionals, nurses, clinicians, administrators, and innovators who will serve patients and communities throughout Central Illinois. Students gaining real-world experience while learning compassion, teamwork, and ethical leadership. And Michelle Conger, thank you for your leadership in that regard. Another essential partnership at Bradley University is with your own Illinois Central College. ICC is an outstanding institution, and our collaboration reflects a shared commitment to access and student success. Through our new Path to BU initiative with ICC, students can begin at ICC and transition seamlessly to Bradley University, reducing cost, saving time, and maintaining momentum towards a bachelor's degree. And in partnership with the Gilmore Foundation, we can now add a last dollar scholarship to admitted students, a scholarship that honors a Bradley graduate and former president of Illinois Central College, Sheila Quirk-Bailey. Thank you so much, Sheila. Yes. And thank you, Bruce Buddy, and all of you at ICC for making this happen. We are also proud to work alongside the Greater Peoria Leadership Council. Together, we are focused on talent, retention, leadership development, and regional alignment, ensuring that students who are educated here can see themselves building meaningful careers and live here. Now, on a personal note, let me say this. Bradley has not done a very good job of telling its story in recent years. That is now changing. We have a story to tell, and we are now telling it. We do not have to make up hypothetical stories about the accomplishments of our distinguished alumni, many who are in this room tonight. That story and that commitment is rooted in our founding purpose. When Lydia Moss Bradley established the university, she believed that education should be deeply rooted, deeply connected to community and life, and responsive to real-world needs. She also gave us a clear vision of the students that we were to recruit and develop. Students who would be independent in thought, industrious in action, and would be committed to serving their communities. To all of you, and in particular the young people in this room, Mrs. Bradley charged us with that vision in 1897. She was 80 years old when she found Bradley University. That vision is as relevant today as it was then. Her vision still speaks to all young people who are looking to go to college, and frankly speaks to all people like you in this room who would consider yourself that type of person, people who work hard and serve their communities. Let me repeat it. She directs us to recruit and develop young people who are independent in thought, industrious in action, and committed to serving their communities. And those words guide us each and every day, as they should. That vision is not complex, and my vision is not complex. To attract, retain, and graduate students who will be just like many of you, people who will lead businesses, healthcare, organizations, and schools, people who take initiative, work hard, solve problems, and understand that success also carries responsibility. Because of Mrs. Bradley, Bradley University's story is easy to tell, because the students she wants us to recruit and develop go right to the heart of the power and the value of higher education and the civic contributions that they make that are so critically important. They make up the fabric of society. These contributions make the greater Peoria area stronger. They make the larger society that we live in stronger. That is why partnerships between Bradley University, the East Peoria business community, and the greater Peoria community matter so much. We take seriously our responsibility to develop leaders of character. Bradley emphasizes ethics, leadership, and service, because thriving communities depend on trust and integrity. Many of our alumni lead companies, serve on boards, teach in classrooms, and give back to this region that we live in. And finally, Bradley seeks to serve as a connector, bringing together chambers of commerce, employers, healthcare systems, community colleges, high schools, and civic organizations. When those connections are strong, regions do more than grow, they thrive. That spirit of collaboration is on full display here tonight at your annual dinner. And at a time when economic uncertainty and rapid change challenge all of us, gatherings like this matter. They remind us that progress still happens locally, that relationships still matter, and leadership, whether in business, education, or healthcare, is ultimately about service. So tonight, let us celebrate what this chamber and what all of you have built together. Let us recommit ourselves to the partnerships that will shape the next generation of students, of workers, and of leaders. Bradley University stands ready to do that with you, alongside the East Peoria Chamber and all the rest of you, and all of you, to ensure that these region's best days are still ahead. So I want to thank you for your leadership. I want to thank you for your service. I want to thank you for allowing me the honor to share my vision and the story of Bradley University with you tonight. Thank you very, very much.
We have a new student right over here next year, Brad. Right there.
Let's have a picture.
Let's hear for our newest Bradley enrollee and her new president. Thanks one more time to President Shen.
I don't mean to steal any.
No, absolutely. Let's hear it for you. Let's hear you in the crowd here. Let me hear it. Let's hear it. Can I hear you? A B. U. How about a B? How about a U? Give me a B. R-A-D. Let's go Braves. Here we go, Bradley Braves. Thank you, President Shadid. If I could take one moment to tie one more ribbon around something earlier, I loved hearing President Shadid's vision for Bradley and vision for our community. I'm going to take this one step deeper in terms of vision. You see, I'm wearing my gear supporting my Indiana Hoosiers. I was at optometry school a few years ago back at IU, and I'm reading a journal of the American Optometric Association. And in that journal was an article that was claiming that the origins of the profession that we call optometry and the optical profession, the origin and the roots of that profession are based in Peoria, Illinois. And that's right. You see, when Lydia Moss Bradley founded the school, we know the history, right? It was a school of watchmaking and clockmaking, correct, and lens making. Well, some of the earliest opticians who would fit you for your eyewear and fit you for your eyeglasses, some of the earliest opticians came from Bradley University and the graduates in optics. And they credited, the American Optometric Association credited those first graduates of Bradley University as being the origins of the optical profession that you all are seeing clearly thanks to them. And I've spoken to our country and I've spoken to our optometry students claiming that same fact there, that the birthplace of optometry is right here in Peoria, Bradley University. So one more time, thanks for the vision of President Shadid. And now we're going to continue with our evening with a few more awards. And I will say this, for all of our awardees this evening, please don't leave after the show's over. We do need to get photographs, formal photographs of all the award recipients. Our next award is for our eco-friendly Business of the Year. I would like to ask all former winners, all prior winners of the Eco-Friendly Award, if you see your name up here on our Jumbotron, please stand up and be recognized. Let's hear it. Put your hands together for all of our previous winners of the Eco-Friendly Business of the Year. Now, this year's winner started in a garage as a, quote, business of families. This year's business has been in business for over 50 years, and the founder is still in the office. This business has grown from domestic to international. They started as a local supplier to a company making yellow tractors to now several international customers. Their business of supplying uninterrupted power units to facilities such as wastewater treatment plants, microgrids, and wind turbines to help minimize environmental disasters from occurring. In addition, they are a pioneer for control systems, for solar panels, for battery storage, for hydrogen systems, and methane to electricity conversion, and so much more. They have truly focused on the future to ensure the environmental concerns are well recognized and continue to develop power systems to meet these needs. Rick, I would like the envelope so we can unveil the winner of the Eco-Friendly Business of the Year. Drum roll, please. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Enercon! Power to prevail! Where's Larry? Larry, please come on up to the podium. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Yeah. Say a few words, please.
Well, this is quite the surprise. I had no idea that was happening here. I came here as a member of the Peoria World Affairs Council, and I want to promote the Peoria World Affairs Council. They do a great job. Dennis, thank you so much for speaking for them as well. We really bring a lot of people into the community, a lot of international ambassadors, and so please do attend our next event. We're grateful to be a member of the East Peoria community. We've been here for not quite all our 50 years. Our garage shop started in Chillicothe, a little boat garage shop in Chillicothe. Yes, and we started in 1975. Do you know another garage shop company that started in 1975? we didn't quite do as well, but we did pretty well. We're happy to be here. We employ a good number of people, and we're grateful to be here. Thank you for the opportunity and for the recognition. Thank you very much. Mr. Swan, you're dope.
All right, nice job, Larry. Thank you so much. Next up, it's a Small Business of the Year. And small might be the formality in terms of the number of employees, but it's not small in the work that these businesses do. So please put your hands together and please stand if you have been one of our prior recipients of the Small Business of the Year. You see your names up here on the podium. Let's recognize our prior winners of the Small Business of the Year. The Small But Mighty Award, I believe we should call it here. This year's Small Business of the Year is a business that truly defines the words entrepreneurship and hard work. This company has and continues to provide many services that will enhance the appearance of your home or business. They've been around for over 10 years. They work in all types of weather to ensure that your needs are taken care of. No job is too small, no job is too big. They've also helped us decorate our podium this evening. Can we have the envelope, please, for this year's Small Business of the Year? Drum roll. Let's congratulate, ladies and gentlemen, Wilson Services. Come on down. That's correct. Come on up here to the podium. If you've been to a Peoria Chiefs game, you've seen Wilson Field, you've seen their work on the ball field, you see their work on the podium, you've seen them all around the community, and let's hear it. Come on up here to the podium.
Do I need a mic?
Oh, yeah, you'll need a mic, yeah.
I guess he thinks I must be loud if I don't need a mic. I'll keep it short and sweet. That's what my wife told me before I walked up here. She must have PTSD from our wedding. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Rick. I really owe this to Noah over there. He's been my go-to for being a part of the East Peoria Chamber, and he's now on his own. Noah Stewart Services. If you need anything, give him a call for drone and media. I can't follow up anything better than what President Shad said. At the end of the day, our company has been built by this community. We are here for this community, and our mission and our goal is to continue to be an integral part of this community as it continues to move forward. So thank you again. Tim, wonderful job.
Thank you. Thank you. Well done. So well deserved. Let's hear it for Wilson Services. Small business. It's just a term. Small but mighty. I'm telling you. Small but mighty. Here we go. Next up. It is time for our Not-for-Profit of the Year, the Not-for-Profit of the Year Award. If there's any prior winners of the Not-for-Profit of the Year Award, please stand up and be recognized.
It's a new one.
It was a trick. It was a trick. It was to see if you're awake. To see if you're awake. That's right, folks. Tonight we're making history. It is the first time that we are awarding a nonprofit of the year. So no one's standing up. Who's going to be the George Washington? Who will be the trailblazer? Who will be the inaugural winner of the not-for-profit of the year? Sorry, it was a plan. Tried to keep them on their toes. Here we go. This year's award recipient has been a great partner with the East Peoria Chamber for many, many years. This year's business has brought citizens of the area together for 5 decades. They target diverse, multi-generational audiences. They involve high school and college students, large and small businesses, and citizens to recognize international literacy. This year's recipient brings the world to Central Illinois. Rick, could I please have the envelope? And this year's recipient, not this year's recipient, the first recipient of the Non-for-Profit of the Year award goes to the Peoria Area World Affairs Council. Let's hear it. Come on up to the podium, please.
No, there were no heads up.
Congratulations. Absolutely. Very well deserved.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
So I feel like our table's getting too many prizes over there. Somebody else needs to draw another number. Thank you, guys. So the World Affairs Council has been active since 1970. So even during COVID, we had regular programs with people from all over the world and all over the United States to tell us about the world's issues and how they affect us locally. So come join us, and thank you very much. This is really unexpected. So nice shout out. Thanks.
Trailblazer right there, trailblazing the first ever. You saw history, folks. You were all a part of history tonight. It is now time for the Company of the Year. The Company of the Year. Could we have all the prior, there have been recipients of this award in the past. Could we have all the prior winners of this award please stand, and let's put our hands together for our many, many, many amazing Companies of the Year. Let's hear it for them. Stand and be recognized. Thank you so much for what you do for our community. This year we have a recipient who's a company that's been in operation for over 40 years. This is a group of 6 who decided to merge their ideas and begin a new business. Within a year, they had secured work from a large local company making yellow tractors, and they were off and running. A few years later, they expanded their scope. They began working on projects outside of Illinois, but they remained and kept their headquarters here. When you choose this company, you are choosing a team of over 300 highly skilled employees that are fully invested in your success. They understand the power of working together for the greater good. Strong connections lead to stronger outcomes, they say. Their values: always do what is right, execute with pride, invest in mutually beneficial partnerships, personally and professionally, embrace change to drive improvement. Rick, could I have the envelope for this year's Company of the Year? Drum roll, please. Put your hands together for River City Construction. Please come up and be recognized. Well done. Very much deserved. Here's your souvenir. Go ahead.
Thank you. Wow. Well, this is certainly a shock and a surprise because I even asked Rick yesterday, well, who are the recipients going to be, and he wouldn't even tell me. But it's truly an honor to be recognized in this way. I mean, especially with all the organizations that have been honored in this fashion. We are so proud to call the city of East Peoria home for over 40 years. From our humble beginnings to where we are now, it's pretty remarkable that this community has always supported us. And, you know, we appreciate that very much. Thank you, Mayor Call. Thank you, Mr. Becker. It's truly an honor to be a part of this ecosystem. As you mentioned, President Shadid, we have many leaders within River City that are proud BU alumni as well. So we love being a part of the greater Peoria region, and we're so proud to call this area home. So thank you so much. It's an honor. Thank you. Oh, this is thank you.
Quick reminder, all of you award winners this evening, please don't run off. There will be photos here at the end of the event. But we're not done yet. We've got a few more awards here. Next up is our friend of the community. Could we have all prior winners of this very specific award? It's called the Friend of the Community. Please stand up and be recognized. All of our former winners. The origin of this award began when Jim Mamer was nominating individuals that he felt were worthy of Citizen of the Year, but lo and behold, some of those individuals didn't live in East Peoria. And And so Jim would say, well, but they deserve to be recognized. And so thus began the Friend of the Community Award. This year's friend moved to our area to attend Bradley University. This year's recipient has a great work ethic, being raised by farm parents, has worked at various jobs, all dealing with the people in the community. This year's recipient moved away for many years, but returned home when an opportunity knocked. This year's recipient is always looking to reduce barriers, preventing folks from moving forward. Our Friend of the Year has recently retired, but will continue to serve in the community when not spending time with a new grandchild. You would be hard-pressed to keep up with this person. They call her the Human Energizer Bunny. Rick, could I have the envelope to unveil? Who is this Energizer Bunny who's winning the Friend of the Community? Drum roll, please. Put your hands together for Dr. Sheila Quirk-Bailey. Congratulations. So well deserved. Here's your gift.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I would say I was surprised about this, other than when I told Rick 2 days ago that I've had a medical family emergency and I didn't know if I could be here tonight, and he almost had a heart attack just as my sister-in-law did. So I knew there was something up, right? I just want to say how humbling this is to receive a leadership award like this, especially in front of sister. You have just been an inspiration in what you've done and how you served, and how humbling it is to have this award in front of you. And it's just amazing with the other female leaders in this community, like Michelle and Leanne. This is just amazing. So it has been the honor of a lifetime to be able to serve our students, the amazing team at ICC, and this community. And I just want to give a shout out to Rick. You know, I've worked with, I came here from Harper College in Schaumburg, Illinois, so I've worked with chambers all over the state. And the unity and the level of service, the collaboration with the city, with Mayor, is just amazing, and it just continues to push this community forward because of all of you and what you do together, and how humbling to have been a part of that. So thank you very much.
Chamber of Commerce always bringing folks together, bringing Bradley together with ICC and all of these businesses, all of these community representatives coming together is a special poetry in motion, is what this Chamber of Commerce has provided for decades. It's time for our final award. The final award goes to the Citizen of the Year. Could we have all prior Citizens of the Year? You see their names on the Jumbotron. There have been many. If you need some eyeglasses to see that a little bit clearer, there's some small font over there. Give me a call. We'll help you see those clearer. But folks, please stand up and recognize if you're a prior recipient of the Citizen of the Year. To announce and recognize this year's recipient, I'd like to call to the podium our Mayor, John Cole.
All right, I'm going to start with a little funny here. So Mr. Cundiff didn't obviously realize that I was going to be given the microphone after he dumped on my tide at the beginning of the program. So here's my little funny story. So Tim and I are Facebook friends. So I see Tim's little Indiana stuff, and I see he's out there. And I got to be honest with you, I don't care who you root for. I find that very exciting. So of course I liked his stuff. I was super happy for him. Even beating the Tide, it was a well-deserved victory. They played a perfect game. They 100% deserved it. And I was rooting for them. Obviously, as a Tide fan, getting our butt kicked, I was hoping Indiana would win the championship and kind of soften the blow. So tonight, I'm in the drink line at the beginning here, And Mr. Cuniff walks in with his little gear, and I went up and I said, hey, put my hand out and said, hey, congratulations. He said, yeah, man, that was so exciting. I said, well, what an experience. And I said, that was once in a lifetime. And he goes, yeah, I know, it was great. And I said, no, it was once in a lifetime. Did I not? There you go. I hope you enjoy it, bud. Yeah. Now that I got that out of the way, I couldn't wait, man. I've been nipping at the bud back there. No, in all seriousness, congratulations to the Hoosiers, man. Outstanding. That was a lot of fun to watch them, actually, this year. So, anyway, before we get to a serious note, I just personally want to thank all of you for coming out tonight, because really the greater Peoria region is everybody in this room. I say it every time about this time of year when we do this, but it wouldn't be what it is without everybody in this room and the contributions every one of you make to make the greater Peoria area so great. So thank you all for being here. I greatly appreciate all of you. Thank you to Rick for all he does. I know Dennis said it well, and I'm not going to just keep harping on it. Rick's head gets real big real quick. And I'm part of his old man coffee group now, and all these old farts are going to be like, man, you could have saved that. That dude didn't need to hear that. But no, in all seriousness, Rick does a phenomenal job, and I've never heard a guy drop more names in my entire life. We did have a business meeting about 3 or 4 years ago, and I got to tell you, the gentleman that went with us, we got in the elevator afterwards, and I don't even think we discussed business because Rick and the other gentleman were comparing who knew who. Oh yeah, well I knew this guy. Well yeah, I knew this guy, and then I knew his brother. Oh, it was phenomenal. But in all seriousness, this is a great night. Congratulations to all the recipients, very well deserved. And I just want to kind of get a little serious here for a little bit. I'm going to talk about the qualities of our 2025 Citizen of the Year. And I'm not going to tip my hand until the very end, but this person literally spent over 25 years as a volunteer for the Festival of Lights, as a volunteer for a local food pantry, and as a volunteer for over 20 years to several civic organizations. So that says a lot about someone's character when they commit that much time volunteering. So this person raised a family here in East Peoria and is probably one of the most genuine, kind-hearted people that you would ever meet in your lifetime. This person didn't retire once, but actually retired twice from the same company. This person has been an active member in their church, the same church, for over 50 years, and that continues today. So, Cassie, do you mind? The person is not in the video, but I want to kind of set something up here.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea. From Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, oh, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt of this land. God bless the USA.
250 years strong, ladies and gentlemen. And you know why that is? That is because the Citizen of the Year for 2025 is a member of the greatest generation this country's ever known. So please stand up and help me congratulate the 2025 Citizen of the Year, a World War II veteran, Mr. Dean Smith.
Yeah. Dean, anything you want to say, sir?
I just thank everybody for being here and for thinking of me like that. And I'm just getting harder to say.
God bless you. Thank you, Dean, for your service to our country and your service to our community, and that is so well deserved. So, yeah, that's what's special about this. They're all here for you, so.
Please extend your applause for our 2025-26 Citizen of the Year, Dean Smith. And they're all presented with this plaque. USA, 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 USA. Let's hear it one more time. Citizen of the Year, Dean Smith. World War II veteran, Dean Smith. Thank you for your service. Thank you, and God bless America. One more time, let's hear it for him. Thank you to all for attending this evening for a very special, special night celebrating our community, our award winners, our distinguished guests. You've heard some words of wisdom. Take those words with you and take them out into the community. And let's have 2026 be a wonderful year for you all. Tonight would not have happened if it were not for all of our sponsors. We'd like to thank one more time our sponsors: Busey Bank, Caterpillar Visitor Center, Excellent Cafe, Fair Graham, Fond du Lac Bank, Hart Technology, Illinois Central College, Mike Rundle Creative Content, Miller Hall and Triggs, Peoria Area World Affairs Council, River City Construction, Serve Pro, Unlend Insurance. Let's hear it for all of our sponsors who helped make tonight possible. Congratulations again to all of our recipients. Enjoy and cherish this evening and this moment, but please don't leave. Stay around for a photograph. Come back up to this podium for the photos. We'd like to, last but not least, thank our East Peoria Chamber staff. Don't forget, you'll be getting your programs when you leave. Cassie, Angie, and Cassandra will be handing those programs out as you leave. And we're going to conclude with our final remark from our esteemed leader, Executive Director Rick Swan.
After that, I got nothing. I mean, I've known Dean for many, many years, and what a deserving honor. There's not many World War II veterans left, so it's just amazing. And he was one of the founders of the Festival of Lights, which we continue to go through every year. So I can still picture him climbing on the floats and putting lights on. That was when the old incandescent bulbs were on. So great guy. So hope you enjoyed that. Again, I'd like to thank Paradise, Jimmy, Jody, just Chef Tommy, everybody, the wait staff, for making it special. They always do. We can always count on them. So again, Angie, Cassie, Cassandra, Kelsey, and everyone else for their help making this happen. And again, can't thank you folks enough for doing what you do for us, because without you, we don't exist. So we thank you all from the board of directors, the ambassadors, and everything. Again, thank you. Again, we'll see you March 6th. It's the State of the City address by the mayor. It'll be a breakfast meeting, so we'll get that out to you. And if you'd like, Dean's going to be here for a little bit. He couldn't make it to the stage tonight. He's got some hip issues going on, but I know he'd like to see everyone. So if you would, stop and say hello. And again, be safe. Oh, sister, thank you.